Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we're diving into a massive shift in how the world handles money. I mean, we've all been there, right? Waiting weeks for a new corporate card to show up in the mail, or even worse, awkwardly passing around one single piece of plastic across an entire department like it's some sort of sacred relic. Well, today we're finally moving away from those clunky, slow days of physical banking and jumping straight into the era of instant digital payments. If you manage expenses, run a platform, or honestly, if you just love seeing how modern financial technology is evolving, you are in the perfect place.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the virtual card revolution, break down exactly how the API works, explore why businesses love it, look at who uses this tech, and finally check out the CardUpNow solution. But before we get into the how, let's just ask the big question. Why are modern businesses abandoning physical credit cards in the first place? Think about the slow, manual friction of the old banking world. It wasn't just annoying, it was a massive drain on resources. We're talking endless paperwork, the anxiety of waiting for the mail, and those frantic, sweaty-palmed phone calls when a piece of plastic gets lost or stolen on a business trip. In our lightning-fast digital economy, that kind of delay doesn't just slow you down, it literally costs you real money. Finance professionals will tell you companies lose thousands of hours a year just chasing down physical receipts and replacing lost cards. It's just an outdated model begging for a replacement. All right, let's jump right into section 1, the virtual card revolution, a digital shift. Okay, let's break this contrast down because it's pretty stark. The old way of issuing company funds, it meant manual creation, agonizingly slow physical delivery, and a mountain of expensive paperwork just to give an employee access to a simple budget. But the new way? Instant generation, global digital access, and absolutely zero physical delivery. It's literally the difference between sending a message by horse-drawn carriage and firing off a text. You don't have to wait 3 to 5 business days anymore. You don't have to fill out triple carbon copy request forms. The funds are available the exact second they're approved, which fundamentally changes the speed at which a business can operate. So what's the actual engine behind this new way? Well, it's the Virtual Card API, or Application Programming Interface. In really simple terms, an API is just a digital software system allowing businesses to automatically generate and manage virtual cards right inside their own platforms. Instead of your finance team having to log into some separate clunky banking portal to request a card, your internal software simply talks directly to the financial service. You completely bypass the manual work and all those frustrating bank waiting times. When a user needs a card to pay for a software subscription or book a flight, boom, the system generates it instantly. It's seamless, integrated, and incredibly fast. Moving on to section 2, how the API works behind the scenes. And listen, I know the term application programming interface can sound a bit intimidating, but I promise you, the mechanics here are incredibly straightforward. Think of it like a really high-end hotel. You have the front desk, which represents your app or platform where the user simply requests and views their card. It looks beautiful, it's easy to use, there's zero friction. Then you have the back system, that's the API, working silently behind the curtain to instantly create and secure that card with the issuing bank. Actually, that's a perfect metaphor because it explains how incredibly complex, heavy-lifting tech feels completely invisible to the end user. They just ring the bell at the front desk and the card magically appears in their hand. All the complex security checks and banking regulations handled automatically in milliseconds by the API. Let's walk through this seamless 5-step journey together. First, the business connects the API to their software. Second, a user, maybe an employee standing at an airport on a business trip, requests a card via their mobile app because, say, their flight was just canceled. Third, the API instantly goes to work, generating a unique 16-digit card number, expiry date, and security code. Fourth, the user receives that card right there on their screen, instantly able to book a new flight. And finally, the business can instantly track that spending in their ledger without waiting for an expense report. This fast, secure digital handshake requires absolutely zero manual intervention and solves the problem in real time. Which brings us to section 3, why businesses love it, core advantages. The benefits of integrating this into a finance team's workflow are, quite honestly, staggering. First off, you get instant mass creation. You can issue one single card for a quick purchase or dynamically generate 1,000 distinct cards for an entire department without a single delay. Next, you get strict spending controls, dictating exactly where and how much can be spent.
If the card is only meant for a $50 software subscription, it will automatically decline a $51 charge or a random coffee shop purchase. You also get real-time tracking, practically eliminating manual reporting errors. And if anything looks suspicious, one single click instantly pauses or deletes the card. It puts total control right back into the hands of the business. But perhaps the most crucial point here is security. Because a virtual card protects the main bank card from exposure, it essentially acts like a digital shield. Every single time a company enters their primary corporate card online, they risk exposing it to data breaches. By keeping the main account hidden behind these disposable, easily paused virtual numbers, you drastically reduce the chance of online fraud. Hackers might manage to get their hands on a temporary virtual number with a $10 limit, sure, but the real vault containing the company's operating capital, that stays locked tight. All right, Section 4. Who uses this tech? Industry's use cases. The flexibility of this API is truly universal across modern industries. Fintech apps are using it to offer digital cards directly to their banking customers, allowing them to spend before a physical card ever even arrives in the mail. Freelancer platforms use it to issue instant earnings payouts, completely skipping those traditional multi-day bank transfer delays. Corporate platforms use it to manage dynamic team travel and individual software subscriptions, making reconciliation completely automatic. Meanwhile, e-commerce platforms use it for secure, instant vendor payouts and managing complex refunds. Basically, if money needs to move online securely and efficiently, this tech is the engine driving it. And it all connects back to a very real-world catalyst, the massive, permanent shift to global remote work and online subscriptions. We live in a digital-first economy now. You simply can't pass a corporate card around an office when half your team is in a totally different time zone, right? Companies are desperate to avoid complex paperwork and the expensive, slow production of plastic cards. Instant digital payment tools aren't just a fun luxury or a cool tech novelty anymore. They are the absolute baseline necessity required to survive, manage cash flow securely, and scale a global team without drowning in administrative overhead. And that brings us to our final section, Section 5, the CardUpNow solution, seamless integration. When you look at who is actually providing this technology at the absolute highest level, CardUpNow really stands out as a premier financial service in this space. They give businesses all of this automation and power without forcing them to build a massive, compliant financial system from scratch, which, by the way, can cost millions of dollars and take years. Instead, they offer a lightweight API integration that takes minutes to set up, not months of grueling development. Businesses can issue Visa, MasterCard, or their specialized elite cards globally, all backed by real-time monitoring and strict merchant controls. It's practically tailor-made for startups and growing digital platforms looking to instantly level up their payment game without the massive technical headache. While I was researching their platform, I found this statement that really drives the whole point home. CardUpNow makes online payments simple, secure, and instant with virtual cards you can trust. I mean, that perfectly encapsulates the entire mission of modern financial technology. It's all about removing the friction that slows businesses down and building trust through better, more transparent systems. You want your money to move at the speed of the internet, and a dedicated API provider is exactly how you achieve that secure velocity. So if your platform is ready to stop payment failures, secure your online privacy, and access high limits for your global needs, they are absolutely worth looking into as a core financial service partner. You can transform your business payments today by visiting CardUpNow.com to launch your own prepaid virtual card system. It is honestly incredible how quickly you can go from an outdated manual expense process to a fully automated API-driven financial powerhouse. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on. Will your business adapt to secure, instant digital payments, or will you be left waiting for the plastic to arrive in the mail while your competitors just speed ahead? The technology is here, it's completely accessible regardless of your company's size, and it is fundamentally changing the game. The choice of how you move forward and protect your capital is totally yours. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.